Hello and welcome to Who Are You? This is a reasonably well done sci-fi watchcast hosted by two friends who used to be strangers, but they aren't anymore. Currently watching 2004's Battlestar Galactica. I'm Xhafer.
And I'm Laura.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing? We just had one of
I'm
them
good.
holidays. How was your holiday?
Yeah, I'm on day 4 of my extended weekend right now.
Mm-hmm.
Back to work tomorrow, but I needed this break.
Yeah, I think we all did. I feel
Yeah.
kind of bad because it's the holiday where we're supposed to feel good about our country. And I'm not really doing that.
I got fifis for
Mm-hmm.
sure. I had
Mm-hmm.
a family gathering yesterday that was
As one does, yeah.
civil.
Yeah,
My uncle
good.
came in ready to go. Was all like, you hear about this woman in New York who wants to get rid of all prisons and remove consequences for all actions. And I'm all like, that doesn't sound right.
That doesn't feel
But
real.
you know what? It's like I'm all like, that doesn't feel entirely accurate. And then he looked at me like he's gonna say something else, and I looked over, and my sister's best friend, my brother-in-law were there. This was at my sister's house. She was hosting, so she gets to
Sure.
invite her best friend,
Oh, yeah,
and
great.
they're like Beth, and I look over at this collective group, and they're all just all like, nope, no one's
Don't
saying
do
a
it.
word. Everyone's just nodding
Don't do
no.
it.
My uncle, of course, face towards me, doesn't see any of them.
Yeah, that's a
And it's
good
just
scene.
it was real funny, for me. And I'm just all like, okay, well, that's crazy, but and then we just moved on I like segued into the status of their fence in the backyard that they were building.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, podcasting, for making that non sequitur possible. And
Yeah, it is really helpful sometimes, isn't it?
the ability to just pick a couple of words and make it about something completely different, man.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That segue ability that I've been practicing for, fuck. This is episode 228 of this podcast.
Of this one, yeah.
Of
Mm-hmm.
this one, I've got
Others.
two others with over 100 episodes each. I have to be. I think I have to be over 500 episodes by now. I
Yeah,
don't know.
sure.
I probably looked at one point, but I don't. Whatever. A lot. There's a lot of me talking on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We had a much smaller family thing, so nothing crazy.
Yeah.
We did have this fun moment last night, last night being the fireworks night, right?
Yeah.
Fireworks time, you're getting towards dusk. People started shooting off like a whole bunch of fireworks because we had a storm roll through that was building up. And so you hear fireworks like up until the storm starts. And the storm lasted till like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, midnight. And of course, fireworks immediately right after the storm
Yeah.
was over. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to get any sleep. Cool.
I had to check the city ordinances for when fireworks had to stop.
I know. I'm very curmudgeonly about it
Look,
in the neighborhood now.
I wasn't. I'm not the kind of guy who's going to call the cops on their neighbor. 100%. That's not it. I did not check to be all like,
Yeah,
I checked to have a reasonable expectation because I also know that my neighbors would look it up and not violate this
that's
rule.
good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so like when it's 11:15 and I'm all like, when does
Mm.
the city say this has to stop? And on July 4th, there's a special pass to go until 11:45
Of course
p.m.
there is. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, cool. And sure enough, 11:40, grand finales, done.
Good. Good.
Nice to see people celebrating though.
Yeah, sure.
No disquiet in their souls.
I mean, they can also have some disquiet in their souls.
I'm sure they
Yeah.
do. 100%.
But I think there's some disquiet in a lot of other souls we got to talk about today.
Yeah, it's Battlestar Galactica Season 4, Episode 12. Wasn't that a good segue? No, a disquiet follows my soul.
Mm-hmm.
We open on Adama getting ready for the day. This scene was striking me because there's no background music or talking.
Uh-huh.
It's like the sound of him shuffling and shaving
And brushing
and
his
stuff.
teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's got this book he pulls out and reads a little bit of. And as he's leaving his room for the day, he picks up some trash in the hall.
Yeah.
He does that a couple of times in this episode, picking up trash in the hall. I was like, huh. It's nice. That's a nice metaphor for a lot of things happening.
Symbolism.
Yeah. Yeah. Before the opener though, I just want to call out that I did clock it in the LTO. I was like, "Oh, we're finally going to remember fucking Nicky, huh?" Cuz they like showed some things about
Yeah.
Nicky in the LTO. And I got to say, I was interested and impressed in where it went.
Yeah, keeping this one quiet has been a fun challenge.
Yeah, because I've been so mad about what the fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about Nicky.
Well, not only have you been so mad about no one gives a fuck about Nicky, but also we've been making jokes about how horny Hot Dog is on this podcast, and there's like one in the show itself. There's like one line that makes you think he's a horny dude
about his STDs.
and we were making jokes before that and after. Like, we have always been making jokes about Hot Dog being a horny dude. And so when he ends up being the dad in this like, sitting on that one.
Hilarious.
I might have even made a joke about him having kids he doesn't know about on the ship on an earlier episode of Pod. Just shot in the dark on this one, like, as a joke.
Yeah. If you did, it blew right past me. Like, I didn't even...
Well, I mean, it's very like, oh, yeah, funny, ha, 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 because that's not a plot point one would expect.
So, because the whole marriage between Tyrell and Callie was basically skipped over for us. We didn't see any of the exact build up and the actual... Maybe we saw the wedding in like a webisode flashback or something, or a flashback somewhere in the proper. But... they don't tell us anything about like shotgun wedding.
Yeah.
And basically it seems kind of like that's what it was. Even it may have only been from her point of view that it was a shotgun wedding.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess my brain just sort of forgot that happens. And I just went with like the general social order of how marriage is supposed to happen.
Well, it all happens on New Caprica because they're like, we see them start to become a thing. And then they land, and then we flash forward a year to where they're married with a kid.
Well, does she have the kid yet, or was she just super pregnant? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
But point is, it's just done.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I just had it like, oh, well, obviously it happened in the correct, I'm using air quotes because there's no correct way to be in a relationship and have children. I just had it like, oh, well, that's the timeline. So I just superimposed that onto Callie and Tyrell. Without considering there's other ways to do that.
There sure are.
So, okay. Yeah, but speaking of babies.
Tie-in 6 are at an ultrasound. It's a boy.
So, is it a boy? Did they say that?
Yeah,
okay.
They say that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah, because Ty's all like, oh, I didn't say we wanted to know. And Coddle's all like, didn't say you didn't.
Yeah. Are these two, or is this put in this episode to make me wonder about this baby's paternity? Like, is it Saltai's baby?
I mean, the fact that you're questioning it because of the other contents of this episode would lead that to be a yes from the design or the standpoint of the producers of the show. Because they could have not put this in the same episode, but they did.
Yeah, they did put this in the same episode.
If you're asking me for spoilers,
I know I'm not going to get spoilies. I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions.
Just asking some questions, guys.
Yeah. I just don't. I will not be surprised if this is not Saltai's baby. Whose it is, it'd be hilarious if it was Hot Dog's. Now I kind of want that, but I know it's not that. I mean, we don't get any Gaius going to see Caprica 6 anymore. but that doesn't mean it's not happening. And she's always been wanting a baby with Gaius. I don't know. I'm just gonna.
I don't know.
Better be hot dogs though. That's the funniest.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. So the whole time, this ultrasound tech looks super uncomfortable. Uh-oh.
It doesn't help when Cottle lights a cigarette in front of the pregnant lady.
2 of them, because he gives one to him and one to Ty. Yeah.
Yeah.
God. But I don't think that's what she's uncomfortable with. I think it's something about these Cylons. And good thing Gata's fucking here.
Oh man, get ready to say that a couple times over the next few episodes.
I don't remember what. I think it was the last episode proper that we watched. I did write in my notes at one point, good thing Gata's here. And I wrote it again. And I was like, oh no. I think this is going to be a thing. And I don't like that. As he's bitching at the ultrasound tech, who's kind of like, all right, okay. Nicky is being rushed in by Tyrell. He is peeing blood. That bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they talk about it in a couple minutes, but he's got some problems with his kidneys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We cut over to a press conference. Zarek and the Adamas don't say shit, but Lee accidentally slips that they know who the 5th of the final 5 is. My question to you here is, how does the news media know about the final 5? I know how the Cylons know about the final 5.
Mm-hmm.
I know how the fleet leadership knows about the final 5. I know how the audience knows about the final 5.
Yep.
Why the fuck is the news media in the fleet talking about the final 5 Cylons?
Yeah. Because I think we've had this discussion at several points during the podcast of like, do people know how many Cylons we're looking for? Like, and there have definitely been parts of this show where it was clear that like the public did not know that there's 12 models, blah, 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 blah. But now for some reason, because it's convenient, I guess they know that there were 5 left.
Like, fucking, okay, what are the sources of information in universe for there being the 12 models and the final 5? It's Deanna's dreams.
Uh-huh. There's a note in the miniseries.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a note in the Admiral's office in the miniseries that we don't know where it comes from. Still, we don't know where that note comes from. Deanna's fucking visions and Cylons telling you.
Yeah. All
those are the sources in universe.
Very reputable sources. No unreliable narrators there. Like everything is cool and fine.
I get why the Cylons believe it because it's axiom to them. It's truth, right?
It's sort of a religious thing. Like,
yeah. It's dogmatic. And it's just like the commanders in the fleet, sure, you've got a little bit more exposure to the Cylons on a like cultural perspective, I guess, because you've had like missions and stuff. You've had pilots. You've gone over to the base star. You've done these things. Joe Schmo in the fleet hasn't done this. Reporter Bob in the fleet hasn't done this. They have no experience with these things. So are they just like hearing radio transmit? Like they've got no reason to believe it. And if they knew the sources, they would actively not believe it.
Well, okay, I can get behind you there that if they knew the sources, they probably still wouldn't trust it. But I'm trying to headcanon some stuff together, and maybe I'm wrong. But
do the work for the show.
I'm doing the work. When Deanna came over and said, I want these Cylons to come out, I think she stated there were 4, right? But that's still not 5. Why would they know about the 5? Because I was like, there are a whole bunch of people in that room, and one of them jabbering to the press is like not hard. But why would they still think there's another one? Why would they think there's one more? Because I don't think Deanna said shit about there being one more because she had reason.
She might have said the words final 5 in that room because for some reason, God, and it's like the thing about this show. There's a lot of things about this show that drive the fan base a little crazy.
I can tell,
right?
Yeah.
There's some choices that are made. The thing for me, the thing that always was just how like, this is dumb, is in-universe characters using the term Final Five.
Like, how does everybody but Adama know that there were 12? Like, that there's only 5 left. Like, that is weird. Yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, he
Well, it's not even that, like, they're 5 unidentified Cylons, right? Like, you like the specific term Final Five, not what it represents. The clear, like, alliteration, the like convenience of it, the like offhand mention that would be used in advertising for the show, right? Who are the final 5 Cylons? That was in ads for the show.
Yeah.
Before they said it in the show. And it's just like, no, don't do that. You don't go to the monster truck rally on Sunday and hope that they go Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Like, no, you know what day it is. You're there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But Lee accidentally let slip that we think this woman is dead. And of course, that just makes the rabble worse from all the reporters. I don't know. The fact that he said that, I'm like, hey, it wasn't Ellen. It can't be Ellen. It just can't.
Yeah.
I know we like this actress and we want to bring her back, but I just don't think she's the final Cylon.
I mean, such is your prerogative. I have to remain stone-faced.
I know you do.
If it's true, then I can't admit that. And if it's not true and you're correct, I doubly can't admit that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The funniest thing in this scene to me was that Zarek is as confused as we are about what Lee's job is. Because he's like, you were acting president, but now you're doing what, man? Where is the president? Like, WTF? And I can't. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to be vice president. I'm supposed to have some sort of authority, but y'all just keep coming in here and doing stuff. And what do I get to do? So we know Zarek is great when he's feeling a kind of way about his power.
Yeah.
But he tells Lee and Adama that there's going to be consequences if you all make an alliance with these Cylons, a permanent alliance.
Yeah.
Without discussing it with the quorum. Without involving the quorum. And
Bill's just like, great. Thanks for sharpening that pike, bro. I like to know who to hold responsible when shit goes down.
Yeah. I don't really like the way that either of these gentlemen are behaving around this. So
very fair.
Yeah. Don't like it. Not great.
Just to mention it, there is the survivor count on the board up in the background. It does match the survivor count in the theme song that we get in about a minute from here, which is 39,644, down 6 since our last count.
Yeah. It's going to be implied later what that is about.
Yeah. Let's see. Over on Galactica, Baltar's Bang Bus has handed out pamphlets. But he's like, I don't think I've actually heard God's word in a while. And I think I'm just going to bullshit something about how angry I am at God right now. And 6BT is like, maybe don't do that. Maybe that's bad.
Whoa, how did I miss this? I did not get a scene with 6BT at all.
Yeah? There's right after the credits, Baltar's talking to 6BT for a minute.
I didn't have that. I'm going to have to go back and watch my episode because mine goes straight into Tyrol. Wow.
Oh.
Okay, so tell me again what Gaius is doing?
We see the ladies that are in his harem. They're handing out pamphlets about Baltar's speech. The copy of the book cover that they made from last season, My Flaws, My Triumphs, or whatever. That's part of the pamphlet. Yeah, exactly. That's part of the pamphlet. Presumably not the whole book because the book was kind of weighty. But they're just like handing out pamphlets about Gaius preaching. And we cut over to Gaius, and he has a conversation with 6TP that's just all like, I don't feel divine. I don't feel like a God that is just would allow this to happen. Right? And he's pissed. And 6BT's all like, well, yeah, but, everything's for a reason, and you shouldn't take that anger. Like, if you preach this anger, people will be angry. Like, you have to recognize that the things that you say matter to more than just your feelings. And he's all like, nah, I'm going to be a petulant child.
Okay. That makes the thing that happens later in this episode make a lot more sense. Because I was like, where's this fucking coming from? What's going on? I don't understand. I'm going to have to go back and check my episode.
Weird.
I don't know if I just managed to.
You're watching on the Apple?
Yeah.
I'm watching DVD rips.
I wonder if
And
I wonder if I accidentally fast forwarded through something or.
It's like a 30-second scene right after the credits, so you might have been taking notes, or if you like ran to like go grab a drink during the theme song or something real quick. Also, it's entirely possible we just have different versions of the episode.
I will go back and check, and I will report back next time, because that was really important, because during the whole Gaius speech, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this just came out of nowhere. We haven't seen him all episode. Yeah. What is happening?
This hasn't happened to us before, but there are deleted scenes on the DVDs for most of these episodes. It's possible mine just was integrated with the deleted scenes as well. Although I don't know why you delete this scene.
Need this
and also
scene.
I don't think the runtime on mine was weird.
Okay, so just to paraphrase to make sure I understood, it sounds like 6PT is saying like, hey, we've got like a unity thing going on here. And if you are a petulant baby in your speech, you're going to jeopardize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's all like, no, I think I'll be angry and not listen to you, 6PT.
Yeah. I think I am a petulant baby, so I better do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we cut over to Tyrell, who's speaking to Adama and the senior staff. This is the meeting that Gaeta was told about, so he's there too.
Okay. Oh, so
and
the thing, the webisodes happened. Yeah, they were just right before this episode. Okay, so some of those dead people are also the people who were on the ship in the webisode.
Yes. So that would have been three
of
the
them.
2 pilots and the mechanic.
Yeah.
Because the Sharons wouldn't count. So that's 3 of the 6.
Okay.
Were on that, and then the other 3 are presumably suicides.
Right, because I think it's in this episode we say that suicide is up, unfortunately.
Yeah, they say suicide's happening. Yeah. So Tyrell is talking about upgrading the fleet to Cylon level faster than light technology.
Yeah.
We know that they can go much farther.
Mm-hmm.
So less jumps, more accurate jumps too. They throw around that it's 3 times as efficient.
Isn't it that way because of hybrids though? Like,
I think that might be the distance component, but also one, they might just be like dialing in everyone's computer to the hybrid because they don't tell us how they're what they're doing to upgrade these computers. Mm-hmm. So it might just be we're setting up comms with the hybrid to just let your thing do math better. It might be like actual like fuel stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like it uses less fuel to make the jump itself. Tyrell says he doesn't even understand how it works, that it's past his understanding as an engineer.
Yeah, and he's like the best one, right? We've been told over and over he's like a genius engineer.
He designed his own ship. And then a professional ship designer who had survived was all like, well, it's not perfect, but you did some interesting things here.
Mm-hmm.
He is good at this.
That makes me like nervous that Tyrell he's kind of gung-ho about this. He says like, there's all these great reasons it will work, and we want to integrate ourselves into this society.
Gaeta asks what the cost is going to be.
Yeah, citizenship is the cost. We want to be full and equal citizens with all the rights, all of them.
We want to be official citizens of the colonies. We want our own seat at the quorum.
Hey, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Tough sell.
Tough sell indeed. Lee brings up what he feels is the first problem, which is having Cylons on these ships where they won't be welcome to make these upgrades.
I don't know. To me, the first problem is what you already said, that Tyrell doesn't even fully understand this himself. Like, I don't know that we should ever be installing shit at that level that we don't fully understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lee's got a great point about practical problems of like, okay,
Yeah.
well, if we ignored
'Cause-
that big problem, here's the next big problem.
I mean, culturally, that's a giant shift that I don't know that we'll be able to make, and also getting the quorum and stuff. But also, like, individually, every ship is also going to have a problem with this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough when you don't have a lot to show the people. Like we the audience have seen some things. We can probably headcanon ourselves around to be like, yes, these Cylons are true rebels. They are trustworthy, blah, blah, blah. But a regular person in the fleet who doesn't see what's happening at a omniscient view like we do, how are they going to headcanon that this is okay without like some grand gesture from these Cylons who did like destroy their home?
Right.
Oh, billions of people. That yeah, we
As
should.
Zarek will remind us.
Yeah, that we should give them citizenship and rights. Like, I get it.
Adama's all like, the president will make this decision because I don't want to.
Yeah.
This seems like a political decision. So it's the president's job. And I'm just like, wouldn't this start with a quorum vote?
Yeah.
How does the quorum add members to the quorum? I feel like that's a quorum issue.
Yeah, not a president issue.
And I feel like this has to be something that's happened in their society before. Because we know that the 12 colonies, that there are other planets than the 12 colonies in this system. There are smaller outposts. There are things on other planets. Some of the colonies who colonize other worlds and stuff. They had to have had some kind of procedure in place in their government for what happens when they want to add a new one.
Yeah. I have a question too.
Yeah.
So in his reasoning, Tyrell explains to everyone that he's convinced the Cylons that Adama takes things like this citizenship very seriously, and that he would rather lose the fleet than break the oath, unlike someone else, he says. And I was like not 100% clear on what he meant. Is he referring to Rosalind, the someone else? That she was going to break an oath when she wanted the four? Is that the thing he was?
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
Maybe just like the military in general as well.
Okay.
It could be like there are people who will not take their oath as seriously. But that Adama in particular, the most important thing in his life is that military oath.
Okay. I was just like, show you just didn't quite give me enough. I'm not sure who you're talking about. You just said someone else, and context clues. I think it can only be Rosalind, but I'm not sure.
It could be Rosalind. He could have been talking about Kane.
Okay.
Who definitely violated the terms of her oath a ton in not protecting the citizens in order to wage war.
And the Sixes might have feelings about their experience with Kane.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was just like, oh, crap, show. You're not putting enough down for me to pick up today. But some of that might be holes. We'll just keep looking. So back in the med bay, Nicky's got acute renal failure, we find out.
Yes.
That we caught it fast enough. It's not going to turn into chronic renal failure at this time, but he needs some blood, it sounds like. Which Tyrell starts freaking out about because where's all the half Cylon blood? It's all in, what's her name? Harris.
Yeah.
Just Hera.
Can you mix my blood and someone else's blood? I don't know how this works.
Yeah. And the nurse is like, well, actually. And Cottle's like, fucking shut up.
Dumbass.
And then Tyrell is like, wait, what? And Cottle has to take him aside and have the talk.
Yep. Tyrell doesn't know that Callie and me get it on in her van every Sunday. Is that how that song goes?
Yeah. So I don't know. I was like, oh, this is why Deanna didn't give a shit and the Six didn't give a shit. And like,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the Six might not have known because they didn't know Tyrell. Well, they didn't know before. They didn't know Tyrell was a Cylon.
That's
right.
True. Well,
Deanna was the only one who knew.
That's true.
And she probably just supernaturally knew that it wasn't his kid as well.
Yeah.
Because that whole thing is
I
weird.
don't know if Deanna
But,
ever
like-
actually really encountered the knowledge that he had a kid, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Oh, question about Deanna, because she was going to stay behind.
Yeah.
Did she actually do that? I guess maybe you can't tell me. Because it wasn't clear at the end of the episode. She was like, "Nah, I'm just going to stay here."
Here's the
But
thing:
people,
is if the answer to that question is a yes, then it's not a spoiler because it's already happened. If the answer to that question is no, it's a massive fucking spoiler that I can't tell you.
okay, fine. I could see her having changed her mind, like maybe Saul came out of his vision and talked to her or something. I don't think he did, though, because I don't think Ellen's the last Cylon. Or maybe she just didn't stay behind because she was like, I guess I'll stay with my people. Or maybe she's staying behind and she's going to have some mystical crap that happens and then she's going to come back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Also, it's a little weird to just be, I don't know, be so done with Earth. I guess it was destroyed and all that. But I thought we might try to get more out of it, but we've already left. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just find these things weird.
Well, I mean, sticking around was kind of a big bummer.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. Yeah, we found out Nicky's not his, but the real father does not know either. So
Yes.
Coddle's like, fuck, I guess I'll talk to him. And then you guys can
Yeah.
work it out.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you be pissed off and go tell him, and that's how he finds out. That's not right. And that, correct, Coddle. We don't need to start your Maury spinoff.
You are the father.
Yeah.
We have another spinoff in mind for the show that we're going to do. It's the 4th season. We got to think about spinoffs. Coddle's Maury spinoff, not the one they decided to go with.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I would have watched it.
Nicky is about 2. Is that?
Yeah. Nicky's, I think we got a definitive count during the webisodes that the occupation of New Caprica was 18 months ago. That's when Gata was meeting with that Sharon.
Oh, okay.
And they were on New Caprica for a year before that. So 30 months at most.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So he's like in the 2 to 3 range.
Yeah.
I hope Tyrell has actually bonded with this child and doesn't want to like just be like, well, he's yours now, hot dog, because it's not totally clear. He does say he's going to come back later. But
okay, I actually have more of this than I think you got too. This is another scene I think you're missing that I have.
Oh, well, let's just keep going.
Did you get Tyrell and Hot Dog with
Yeah.
Nicky later in the episode?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But he's like, you stay here, I'll be back. But I'm like,
Oh, there's a lot more to it than that.
okay.
That scene was like 4 or 5 minutes.
All right.
Okay.
Let's just go
Okay.
forward. And
We'll get there when we get there. Okay. Bill and Laura talk as she stretches. She needs more time before she goes back to presidenting. She outright lies about not taking her pills and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah. Was it in this episode or the previous where we saw her throw them all in a trash can? Oh, it's in this
I
episode.
think it's this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Adama's picking up trash from the deck again after their conversation. I noticed this was right after a couple of people in handcuffs went by. Did you catch that? Like
No,
it
I
was a escort and we had
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did see the Marines. Yeah.
So I'm like, I think we're hinting in the background at all the breakdown that's happening.
Yeah. Gata goes to the pilot's lounge to talk to Starbuck.
Yeah. Boy.
And he's all like, hey, so remember when that jury was going to kill me for being a collaborator? And now we know that 3 of those 4 people were Cylons and 1 was married to a Cylon? Huh.
Yeah, because it was
You want to talk about that?
Anders, Tyrell, and Ty, wasn't it?
Ty. Yeah.
Kind of forgotten about
Yeah,
that.
the 3 leaders of the resistance were all Cylons. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why we haven't seen the 3 of the 7 who are here, or the 3 of the, or the fuck around 4. I guess the 3 of them like grappling with that together at all.
They're all hanging out on the base star,
Mhm.
I guess. They're trying to get rights right now.
Yeah. I feel like there should be some grappling with that from that group at some point.
There should be. There's other questions to ask about that
Yeah.
too, but that won't come up for like another 5 episodes, so don't worry about
Gotta
it.
come up eventually, though, where I can see that being a sticking point for the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, we know that the look in Starbucks' face is also like that she's worried that maybe it was all 4 of us were Cylons. Oopsie doodle.
Yeah.
And she says something really rude and ableist.
She constantly prods at the fact that he is a disabled. She calls him a gimp. I think she calls him an invalid at one point.
Yeah, she's really
she talks
mean.
She's really nasty. I mean, he is also being fucking nasty here.
Yeah. It just feels like he was bringing up kind of a legitimate grievance.
A little of a valid point.
And she just goes straight to below the belt. Or below the knee, if you will. I guess he did mutiny on her, but from his perspective now, he was like, I was fucking right. I was fucking right to mutiny. And then I got hit by a Cylon.
Was overriding my orders. Yeah, like fucking I got shot by a Cylon. Like
yeah. So there's no healing that's going to happen here. And he basically promises her a reckoning that people are going to answer for what they've done. And then when she leaves, he's very bold and says, all right, rest of you, let's have a chat.
Yeah.
Don't like it. You
shouldn't. Over on Colonial 1, the quorum meets. Well, he makes the case for Cylon integration, and Zarek calls a vote. He talks about living in a fantasy instead of reality, and he calls a vote to put Cylon presence on other ships up to the individual ship to decide to allow or deny. States' rights to Cylon presence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lee tries to stop him, sort of. He tries to object and say well, what about military decisions or something? And nobody cares. They swiftly pass this whole thing with Lee being the only dissenter.
I don't disagree with this from a rights perspective.
Right.
The problem, though, is that it ignores reality, which is hilarious because that's Zarek's whole point, is that they need to live in reality, which is that this creates 2 fleets, one who can jump 3 times farther than the rest.
Yeah. So, what are you going to...
This is a logistical nightmare.
What are you going to do? Because if the military ship that is defending you all can go farther...
Well, Galactica could always go farther than the rest of the fleet anyways. Well, they've referenced it a number of times. They've been all like, okay, well, the fleet is going to make these 5 jumps, right? But Galactica is going to do this engagement and get there in 3 because they're going somewhere else to do this thing.
Okay.
Right. Like they've talked about stuff like that before.
Yeah.
Or like Pegasus would make, because Pegasus could jump farther than Galactica. So you're always tied to the weakest link of the chain, right?
Yeah. I wonder if this is a case for the free market. We love the free market, right?
Okay.
That if Galactica upgrades and other ships around you upgrade, and Galactica says, well, they're our priority now, then you kind of are forced, you have the right to not do this. Go ahead.
Take 3 jumps to get there. Here's your fuel allotment.
Yeah, and we'll see you there. Bye. Then you kind of just have to catch up, don't you? I don't know. But it's not good. None of this is good. Zarek has he has ideas that are fine, it seems like, on paper, but then
the second you take a minute to think about it, you realize that it's dumb. I feel this way about a lot of political ideas that get put out in front of me.
Well, I feel this way about a lot of like theoretical stuff, especially now being in academia. People will propose things all the time that's like, well, in theory, this is the perfect way to do it. And it's like, well, but have you met people?
I mean, we were talking before we started recording about a student in data who had reached out to me about a data set that I happened to steward.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the conversations I had with him was like, well, I've got this, which isn't the thing that's going to help you program the thing you want to do. He's like, yeah, but it could be useful for this. And I'm like, on paper, yes, but in actuality, you're completely ignoring the personal bias of these random matchups that we're talking about that I've got a scorecard for. Like, that won't train anything worthwhile.
Yeah.
Like, there's no information to be gleaned about how good something is based off of recreating these results, because they don't defer to skill, which is the thing you're trying to do, is to build something that judges skill.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. I also feel for Lee in this scene because I kind of feel like I've experienced a microcosm of the things he has, because Lee's in this very interesting position that he has been an expert in military and he's made the career change to other thing. And so he's watching the people around him discuss this issue without the perspective that he has. And they come to this very strongly held conclusion. And his perspective is speaking to something a little bit different that is actually consequential. But there's nothing you can do about that. You can't like change their minds. And like, this is, I feel like I've had a very just like a slice of that experience, having gone from like, I was an auditor for several years. And then I told management things and I interfaced with management. Then I became management. And it was like, oh, well, there was all this that they had to consider that from my perspective, it wasn't important, but now it definitely is important because it's affecting me, the most important person in this room. And then now I'm going into academia and people love to criticize auditors and management and academia. And it's like, well, but have you been in the arena with us? Have you had to fight these battles? I don't think you have. So I don't know. It's not nearly to the scale that Lee Adama is dealing with, but I'm like, oh, this feels familiar.
A little relatable. I've never had to worry about that because I'm just always right.
Yeah. Just
it's the easiest way to
whatever
handle it.
Setting, it just
just, it doesn't matter. It's great for me. Anyways, fuck, where are we? Adama's asleep at his desk when his phone rings. Something is wrong on the flight deck that requires his attention as we see the president jog around the ship. And then Adama goes down and rips into Fikursky, who's the new chief. They've got 10 Vipers that are not airworthy at the moment, and that is a fucking problem.
Oh, that was not in mine. It looked like, the way mine was cut, that the thing that Adama was getting a call about was Rosalind jogging around the ship. Oh. He does not talk to Fikursky at all.
Man, nope. He has a whole conversation. He dresses him down. He talks about how he needs to go put on a big enough shoe to get his boot in everyone's ass. Like, whole deal. Like, you used to pull this shit back when Tiro was the chief, and he's all like, yes, sir. I mean, like, there's a whole thing with it. It was kind of fun scene.
Oh, man, I'm really sorry I missed that. Because it from the way mine was cut around, he gets this call, she's jogging, and then, boom, he's in the hallway. And he's like, just what do you think you're doing, basically?
We see her jogging on the flight deck as they're talking. He sees her and then, like, takes an Admiral shortcut to meet her in the hallway.
Okay. That's different. That's different than what I got. I hope the rest of the episodes aren't like this.
I like I said, I took a look at the time on the rest of them, and it seems to be normal air times for all of them until we get to the last three, which are extended episodes. So I think just this one, for some reason, it looks like had the deleted scenes snuck in.
They're very useful. Christ.
Or it's a director's cut episode. Like, and they just did that on the DVD release and just put it all in there. Because, I don't feel like this has been normal deleted scene style stuff. This has all been bigger stuff that's happened in these
Yeah,
scenes.
I'm so glad you're here to share it with me. He's arguing with her in the hallway is where I pick up,
Yes.
and he says, "I know you're not doing your treatment anymore." And she's like, "Well, yeah, no, I think we might actually need to really live for today. We talked about it, but we might actually need to do that. And I
Yeah.
think I have earned the right to live a little before I die."
Yeah.
um, yeah, I can't really argue with that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then mine goes into next Baltar delivering this sermon that was very confusing for me.
So yeah, this is the sermon where he goes on about divine punishment, and this is where he's a petulant child.
Yeah, to me, all I was getting out of this was it seemed kind of anti-God, and like God should apologize to us for this injustice.
Yeah, that's a take.
And I was just like, where the fuck did this come from? Because in my version, Baltar hasn't even been in the episode. But all of it is kind of quickly overshadowed by Tyrell spotting Hot Dog in the crowd and
Yeah.
going over, and Hot Dog's like, "Oh my God, Coddle told me." And then Tyrell just starts pummeling him.
Yep. Just beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Chief throws hands. Baltar is stunned after this. Did you get the scene with him and 6PT after?
No,
Oh, this was so good. This scene.
all I had was
Oh my
was
God.
Baltar giving his confusing speech that I was like, this isn't helpful. Like I think I might have said it on the last episode, or maybe I just said it to Aaron. I was like, I was like, I feel like given all that's happening, Baltar and the Bang Bus could actually be kind of useful in finding like some hope, even though this thing happened.
Yeah.
And then I'm just seeing the speech where like he's gone hard left in the other direction. I thought they could be useful to the alliance problem, the Cylons and the humans, because he's got this influence, he's got this speech ability. He keeps bringing people together around this one true God that the Cylons are super into. Like maybe this can be a bridge into getting past some of the continuing distrust of the Cylons that have rebelled. And all I see is this speech of him really not doing that with no context.
Yeah.
So, okay, give me what happens between Baltar and 6BT.
Okay, so Baltar works this crowd up into a frenzy, right? They are all screaming and stuff. The fight breaks out, and the fight breaks out. He like has a whole conversation in his head with 6PT while all of this fighting is going on around him. That's just like him and her in like Mind Palace, but it's the same room with no one else there.
Okay.
And so he's just looking like he's completely unfazed by everything, like smoking a cigarette. But he's having this conversation with 6PT as all this violence is going on around him, where he's just stunned because none of them actually believe in God. They only believe in him. They're sheep. They'll do whatever he says. None of them are actually believers. He has failed as a prophet.
Yeah.
Like he is not an emissary of God, because all he has done is rely on his personality to carry things, and no one actually believes in God. They just want to hear what he has to say because he's charismatic. And he has this whole moment where he has to reckon with this.
Wow. That is a lot better. That's a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really good character development for Baltar.
Yeah, because you're right. Like I guess maybe he was giving the speech hoping to be pushed back upon. Like,
yeah, someone would like fight him.
Yeah, and
it's all like, no, God is just. There's a plan. He wants someone to say it.
We have to keep the faith.
No one does.
There's something out there bigger than us that is looking out for us, and nobody does that. And the reckoning with 6PT sounds really important.
Yeah, 6BT's all like, look, you could go on national TV and say, grab them by the pussy, and they're still going to follow you.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. And he's just all like, but, and then it like cuts to him sitting there smoking, just like in complete stunned silence as all of his followers are freaking the fuck out around him.
Yeah.
It's a really good scene.
No, all I got was him just smoking and staring at the fight is what it looked like, having no
Oh man,
emotion about it.
that's a fucking bummer.
Do we think this means that the version that I have been watching was the one that aired on TV?
I would assume so.
Okay.
It sounds like you got a 44-minute TV air cut, and I'm watching the extended edition of this episode.
Yeah. Man, that's disappointing for everybody that watched it in 2004 because it sounds like, well, it wasn't 2004 anymore, but you know what I mean. It sounds like
Yeah, 09, I think this
that
episode
was
would air.
really
But yeah.
helpful. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, Hilo and Ty are discussing the problem.
Yeah. 10 ships have actively refused upgrades, and another dozen won't even pick up the fucking phone.
Yeah. How many ships do we have in total at this point anymore? Do we remember?
I don't know. I tried to look it up real quick, and I didn't find a good answer
22
of the status of the
seems
fleet.
like a lot.
22 ships. Yeah, I would venture to say that this is a full third,
Yeah.
if not more.
They just like, well, they have their
Hilo-
rights. The quorum gave them their
Yeah.
rights.
Yep. And Dom was all like, this is an uprising. And he was like, it's bad, but it's not an uprising.
And then the Trillium refiner mutinies. And I do think that is an uprising.
That it's pretty uprising, yeah. Adama says he decides that the decision to upgrade everyone's drives is no longer a political one. Like he said earlier in the episode, it is now a military decision, and he is making it. Everyone's going to get the upgraded drives, and they're just going to have to fucking deal with it.
I don't understand why we have to. Everything's like a knee-jerk reaction sometimes in the show. Like, instead of being like, okay, well, let's call some people and talk about it, we just go straight to Marines.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that the Trillium refiner is crucial. Maybe the Trillium refiner should have been conscripted at some point and made a military ship. I don't know. But we didn't do that. So I don't see why you get to do Marines here.
Yeah.
But then they overhear a phone call between the Trillium refiner and Zarek, reassuring them that the Marines don't have a right to be there. So your dead corpses can definitely sue once you're boarded. But the ship jumps away right before the Raptor can dock.
Yep.
And they've got everybody's fuel. It's cool.
So Adama redirects the Marines from the jumped away Trillium refiner to Colonial One with orders to arrest Zarek and kill him if he resists.
Boy, Adama sure hates Mondays. Like,
right?
Gosh.
So, yep, it's time for a military coup again, guys.
Okay. All right. So the next scene we cut to, we're going to go back to our Maury plot for a second, and I'll tell you what I have. We get Hot Dog like staring at Nicky in the bed, and Tyrell says, you know, the first lesson of being a father is never leave your kid alone in the hospital. You stay here.
So
I'll be back.
There's two lines before this that are super important.
Okay.
Which is Hot Dog says, I don't know how to be a dad. And Tyrell says, we'll figure it out together.
Oh, I don't know that I had we'll figure it out together. I know he said
that's so important.
Maybe I did though, because I had Hot Dog saying I don't know how to be a dad. Maybe I just missed we'll figure it out together. Okay.
And so Tyrell, like, they talk for a couple of minutes about this, about like, what are we gonna do? And Tyrell talks about like missing Nicky, caring for Nicky, how sometimes it's so difficult that you hate this kid, but other times it's the best thing you've ever done. Like, he talks about all this. He's all like, it'd be so easy to just walk away, but I can't.
I don't think I had that.
Oh, yeah, no. So to answer your question earlier, no, Tyrell's not just walking away from Nicky. They are going to be co-parenting.
Okay.
And this is the spinoff we deserved instead of Caprica, a My Two Dads reboot.
Maybe I had that stuff and I just missed it because notes, but that doesn't feel familiar like I had it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Tyrell did bond with this child, is what I'm hearing. Because
Yes.
there were some moments there right after Callie died, and we saw Tyrell and Nicky, and Tyrell was very deep in his grief. And
Yeah.
because we hadn't had as much, we'd had like Tyrell being annoyed a lot before Callie died, and them having marital problems a lot, and him suggesting the second baby that was a horrible idea. I couldn't tell what kind of bond they had, really. So glad that's okay. Okay, so the next thing I have is Adama going to see Zarek with his files.
Yes.
That he's been abusing his office as vice president, buying and selling. He's going to use these files and publish them to tarnish Zarek's legacy if he won't just get back in line.
Yep.
Zarek tells him, you know what? The only difference between you and me is that you're in the military. We're the same guy doing the same things. You just have some pips on your shoulder for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gives up the location of the Tellurium refiner where they went.
Yep. There's a little bit about him exposing the myth of Tom Zarek.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you're right. You could die happy a martyr. You can't die happy in disgrace.
Yeah.
So
right.
Guess what, bitch? Yep. It's great. He says without the Tellurium refiner, the fleet isn't moving. Zarek's all like, you could take this to trial. It will last so long. He's all like, well, we're not going anywhere without the Tellurium refiner, so at least the people will be entertained by your trial.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And who knows? The Cavils may catch up with us in the meantime. So
yeah.
Fuck all.
Yep. And so Adama walks out. He gives Ty the file, the folder, as he's walking out. And he's all like, be sure to file this. Ty looks at it and goes, laundry records?
He did say in his speech to Zarek that there was a real laundry list in there.
Yeah.
I love it when we say the truth, but in a non-truthy way.
So good. So good.
Yeah, when he handed him the file and said, make sure Hoshi files this, I was like, should we be letting Hoshi touch that? Because he's got some Gata problems going on.
Well, they don't. Adama does not care enough about Gata to know what's about to happen to him.
Yeah. But he goes to see Roslyn.
Yep. The Marines go get the Tellurium refiner. We see that. Adama's going to go hang out with Roslyn. We cut to a scene with Zarek and Gata talking in the brig.
Why are we just letting anybody talk to Zarek?
If you'll notice, there's Marines in the room while observing this conversation.
Yeah. They must be on Gata's side already. Is what
yes. They make a point of showing the Marines watching it and listening to the conversation and Gata looking over at them.
Yep.
Like, there's a visual tell here that this is, I don't want to say on the up and up, but Gata knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Zarek's like washing his hands, which is an interesting visual note as he's telling Gata that there are going to be consequences for this. I hope you're ready for that.
Yeah.
Washing his hands of whatever happens to Gata, metaphorically, I think. But Gata's like, you're the guy to lead us or whatever. Do you have more about that scene?
Nope. That's it.
So we're going to team up
a little bit with Adama and Roslyn afterwards.
Yep. Adama and Roslyn are finally doing it. Mom and Dad finally got together.
They're banging. Mom and Dad
I mean,
banging.
again, because I really think they did do it on New Caprica too.
Yeah.
I think that was heavily implied. But yeah, we're going to live for today, I guess. Which, might not be great. Actually, there's a lot of things in here that I'm thinking might not be great. Things that are happening that I don't like.
Yeah.
So, okay.
That's it, though. That's the episode.
Yeah, I suppose we're supposed to rate it, huh?
Yep, 1 to 12 colonies.
I gotta rate my version as like a 6, dude.
That's fair. I'm gonna go ahead and put mine at an 11 just to even it out to the 7 or 8 I think this episode actually is.
Yeah, because my version missing some key stuff that when you told me about it,
yeah,
wicked important.
Super important. No, this episode's like a solid 8, I think.
Uh-huh.
But knowing that your version sucked and mine was so much better, I'll even it out so that we'll say the total's an 8.
mean,
Whatever, the 10 for your
sure.
6, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever, it doesn't matter. No one's keeping track.
Yeah. Wow. I'm thinking if this is the version that we watched on television, I could see, because
Especially you wait a year and a half for this episode. Well, no, you didn't actually, because the last two would have aired already.
yeah.
Or the last one and the last one and the webisodes would have aired as part of this.
I've gleaned that this last season maybe wasn't satisfying for people in a lot of ways. And you have enough of these where like you cut important bits out because we need time to be right for the episode. And then, yeah, you lose a lot in just those few minutes. Like if mine was 44 and yours was 53, that's a total of like 9 minutes of material, right? And it was important. It was so important.
Yeah.
So I can see this contributing
it's 9 important minutes.
Contributing to like the lost vibe that people have at the end of this of like, God, that was so unsatisfying. Well, it's like, yeah, because all the buildup to whatever happens, you cut out some important bits.
It really makes me wonder about the last couple as well, and what the runtime on your episodes are for those.
We should double check. We should do a little.
Can you pull it up real quick? Do you have like iTunes on your?
I don't on this machine, so
okay. Don't worry about it.
I'll send you something.
Text me what the runtimes are. Yeah, because I'm curious. Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got season 4, episode 13, The Oath.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that in this episode, weren't we?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Loyalties are made clear when Gata orchestrates a coup d'etat.
No shit. Huh?
Both prisoners and lives are taken.
Yeah. Go figure.
Yep, it's going down.
Okay. Looking forward to it? Question mark. I don't like to see our boy Gata make what I think are not very smart choices. We'll see.
All right. Well, that's it for us this week, Internet. We got to say thank you to Jeremy Siegel for doing our lovely theme music. Thanks so much, Jeremy. You can find more of Jeremy's work at jeremysiegel42.bandcamp.com.
And you can find more of Angry Duck Time Machine's work on Instagram.
Aaron, thanks for letting me take a pause to cover my dog in a blanket because she was shivering. Mm-hmm. Appreciate all the work you do editing this podcast.
Yeah. And thanks, listener, for being here and finding out that, hey, maybe you also got the shortened version of this episode. I'm curious in the Discord if you want to tell me if you watched my version.
I want to know what version you watched. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear.
Uh-huh. How do you feel about those deleted scenes? I want to know.
I want to know. And we'll see you next week, Internet.
Bye.